Hello and welcome to this video. My name is Job and I'm a photographer, and today I'm just here to share with you one or two things about cameras that you may want to know, because as you may have read from the uh, title of the video is how to use your camera to make money. Yes, that is the title of the money, how to use your camera to make money. But first, before we dive into that, we need to go step by step, and the first step being camera. We need to know what a camera is, what it does, how it looks like, what are the components of a camera. So this video is purposely meant for those people who want to have a career in photography or filmmaking, and they want to do this, like, or even if you just have a passion, you just want to make, if you want to take cool pictures or just get better in photography, this is still a platform for you. So I'm not gonna waste any more time. We're going to dive right into it. So the first thing that you need to know that every camera has these similar components. So what components are these? So every camera has a lens, and in this case I'm going to detach my lens. It's the button. Now that this is my lens. So every lens has something called a focal length, which we'll dive into later. But the focal length is just the numbering on the lens. I don't know if you can see it. There's a numbering right there. So mine is 18 to 135. So it's an 18 to 135 lens. It means I can take from a focal length of 18 and I can zoom it all the way to 135. 18 is a wide angle and 135 is pretty much zoomed in. So all these things you'll learn about them later. And every camera has a camera body. This is an Sony a6400. This is a Sony a6400, and this is a Sony body. And every camera, these modern day cameras, the DSLRs and the mirrorless cameras, have an LCD screen. So that is something too. And this part is where the sensor of the camera is, that shiny part. It is not advisable to be exposed to bare light like that. That's why I have to cover it. I'm trying to cover it as much as I can, because it's not advisable to be exposed to light. So the other thing is a view finder right there, where the photographer puts their eye when they're trying to look. That's called a view finder. That also you can get in any other camera out there. So the other component you're going to need before you start recording is a micro SD card, and they look something like this. This is a micro SD card. Mine happens to be a 64 gigs. You can get them 32 gigabytes, 16 gigabytes. They go all the way to 2 terabyte, I think. Yeah, 2 terabytes or something like that. So space is basically up to the type of work you do. If you just do basic photos, like you just do purely photography and no videography, no videos, nothing, then you don't need a 2 terabyte SD card. Yeah, so it's totally up to you and totally up to your choice. The other thing you need is a set or a pack of batteries. They look like this. So these batteries are nice, especially this one is very nice because it's very tiny, but it takes you a long time. Like typically it can shoot for like 7 hours straight. That's why I like it. Once I charge it and it's full, you're very sure you're going to do like a shoot without needing to exchange it or anything like that. That's something to do. Then yeah, that's a camera. You have a working camera. Now you're probably asking yourself now, Job, I have a working camera. Now what do I need? How do I make money with my camera? And that's exactly where we are headed to. So as I say, this is the first part of the video, and I want you to stick around to the end till we get to where the part where we are now making money. And I've just given you like a rough description of how a camera looks like, and now I want us to turn the camera on and see the interface. These interfaces, heads up, I just want to give you a heads up, they might be different based on the camera, because the Canon interface is different from the Nikon interface, or Nikon as some would call it, and the Sony, LG, all these cameras have different interfaces. But as somebody who wants to just take good photos, I want to give you general knowledge so that whichever camera you meet or you come across in your life, you can easily operate it. All right, so let's turn it on. Mine is showing my flow. So off the bat, if you turn it on, it's just going to show you, let me just it's going to show you what the lens, you can see what the lens is seeing from the LCD screen, right? That's it. So we got different buttons. Tuko na buttons tofauti tofauti kwa hii kitu. And the first button I want us to look at is the actually, before we look at the button, sorry, there's the camera itself. After turning it on, how do you hold the camera? Because holding the camera is the number one thing. You need to know how to hold the camera. That's how you're going to interact with the device. So naturally, this is the shooting thumb. This is where the shutter is supposed to be. So that goes there. And then you see the design of why cameras are designed this way, so that they give you room. You see this cadent here, they want you to have a groove where your hand goes right there. So your hand goes right there, and so once you hold it like that, these two fingers remain such that I can press the shutter and shoot, and I can toggle the settings with this other finger. I can check the picture, I can do what, I can come here and press the buttons. I hope you're seeing all this. I can press the buttons. So this is how you hold the camera, with these two fingers hanging. This other finger is supporting the weight. This supports the weight and the direction. So it supports the weight, and at the same time, this is my zoom and focus hand or finger, or these are my zoom and focus hands. So the lens, these are zoom lens. I can zoom in and out easily, and I can also get the focus easily because of how I'm holding it. So let's say I'm in a practical example. I'm in an event, people are maybe the bride and the groom, or let's say it's a birthday and the kid is about to cut the cake, and the mom and the aunt is around there and everything. Now what do? You hold the camera. There are two types of people. You either go to the viewfinder or you use your LCD screen. There are two options. You choose what you want to do. So there's no right, there's no wrong. It's basically upon you as a photographer to choose what style matches your whatever you're going for. So yeah, you hold the camera, get the right framing by zooming in and out, get the right framing, the frame that you really want. Once you get the frame, and there are two rings. So once you get the frame by zooming in and out, zooming in or out, you get the frame. Then now this is the focus ring. You use the focus ring to nail the focus so that whatever you are taking, whatever subject you are taking is in focus. And I'll tell you why that's important. So once you get the focus, you take your shot. you press the shutter and take a shot, and that's how you take a picture. So why is it important to nail your focus every time? And what by nailing your focus, what do I even mean? So focus, let's say, have you ever seen an image that is blurred? The image or the subject is not in focus, but the background is in focus. To a naked eye, some people might not even notice it, but for a professional, that is some shoddy work. You should not like produce such work unless it is intentional and that is what you're going for. Then you can be forgiven for that. But professionally, you have to ensure that every picture you take, your subject is in focus, such that if it is the skin, you see all the details of the skin. If it is the eyes, you're seeing all the details of the hair in the. So those details is what I call nailing the focus. All right, and I'll show you 2 picture examples so that you can see what a bad picture and a good image looks like. A bad image and a good image looks like. Hopefully, I'm gonna get one to show you. So that is that. So we just turned on the camera, we got our subject, and we shot our first image. So what next? I'm gonna tell you what next. What next is doing it over and over again. Because one thing with photography is you learn the skill, but what makes you different, what makes you perfect is now doing it over and over again. The more you shoot, the better you get, the more you define your style. So you realize that there are some photographers who only shoot in black and white. And how did they come to start shooting black and white? They didn't just start there. It's after shooting for a long time and you realize, oh, this is my sweet spot. This is where most of my, I feel creative juices are driving me to. And then you just become that. So over time, you learn different styles, you try different lighting situations and different lighting patterns, and you see what works and what doesn't work. So it's a matter of trial and error, because it's also a creative process. So there's no right and there's no wrong. You can have 5 photographers or 5 people with cameras given the same subject, but they're all going to come up with different images, which is unique to their own style. So without any further ado, I don't want to make this video too long. This is the first video. The next video will probably go into details about the camera settings and what are the best settings to have, and what should you look for when you're doing the settings, all those good stuff. So for this video, kindly like, share and subscribe. Yeah, till next time, see you, bye.